Yo, tapping in real quick. Something like nothing major. Real live degenerate shit. If we keeping it honest, you know what I'm talking about? Let's talk about it real quick, man. Listen, I already said it. If wrong zoo is victorious, it's not gonna be inside the distance. It's gonna be via decision. And wrong zoo via decision or wrong zoo by points is currently plus 900. You know what I'm talking about? So, hey man, run with it, run from it. Something light on it, a little sprinkle, just in case shit goes left with Cody. It's prospect versus prospect. It's Dana White Contender Series. UFC debuter versus road to the UFC, roller coaster of a ride inside of the UFC so far. Listen, man, I don't think there's a finish in this fight. I think it goes the full 15 minutes. And if Cody doesn't win it, if Cody does not find the finish, and we see this go to the distance, you might want to be holding on to a plus 900 wrong zoo via decision or wrong zoo by points, even if it's just $10 on it for 90 back, or a dub on it for $1.80 back. You know what I'm talking about? But you know, you might want to have that ticket in your pocket just in case, because that little dub on that plus 900 could bring back your whole. If you're 100, 200, 250, you know, it could bring $1.80 worth of whatever you're invested into as far as these favorites are concerned, or parlays that have Cody wrapped up in them are concerned. If that shit happens to go left, I think some of these dogs are absolutely deserving of individual dog plays, especially at some of these ridiculous numbers. So take it for what it's worth, man. Wrong zoo, if he gets it done, in my personal opinion, it's going to be via decision at plus 900. So maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's just for the degenerate in me. But I'm absolutely all right with that. You know what I'm talking about? Now, on Shul's a plus 410. You understand what I'm saying to you? For on Shul to get this one done via KO, TKO, plus 1100. I'm gonna have a little, so I'm just going, you could take a little dub right here. You could put $10 on that plus 1100. You feel what I'm saying to you? And you know that's gonna bring you back $1 plus your 10. You know what I mean? And then you could take another $10 and put it on the plus 2000 for Anshu via submission. And that little $10 will bring you back 200. In my personal opinion, that's how it's gonna go down, man. Your boy Quillen's been submitted one time before. He's going to come out here. He's going to implement a heavy wrestling and grappling game. There's no saying that Anshu, it's not outside the realm of possibility for Anshu to lock up a submission. In my personal opinion, the individual that locked up a submission and got him out of there inside the distance in his one and only loss is a lesser level of opposition than that of Anshu. You understand what I'm saying to you? To each their own, to be determined. That is my personal opinion. But it's not outside the realm of possibilities that Anshu hands him his second submission loss inside the distance, because he's going to implement a heavy wrestling and grappling game. And Anshu could very easily snatch up a front choke, pull guard on a guillotine, or possibly, you know, snatch up another limb in some way, shape, form, or fashion when they get into an entanglement. You understand what I'm saying to you? So it's not outside the realm of possibility, man. Plus 2,000, I'll put a dime on it for 200 back, and plus 1,100, I'll put a dime on that for a little $1.10 back. You know what I mean? A little buck back. And then this plus 800 on Shul via decision, I'll put a dub on that. You know what I mean? So I'll be 40 in on, you know, a dog play on Anshu, man, because I think it's absolutely necessary. And all of these dogs, for the most part, especially these big dogs, are, you know, very much deserving of a dog play, because it's prospect versus prospect. It's unproven up against unproven. It's unbattle tested at a legitimate level of opposition up against unbattle tested at a legitimate level of opposition. Fucking me up with all this shit, huh? Almost couldn't get that one out. Got it out though. Moving on. You know what I'm talking about? That's the way I feel about Ron Zoo. That's the degenerate in me, you know, and that's the play I'm gonna have on him, plus 900 via decision. And for Ron Zoo and for Anshu, it's gonna be the plus 800 via decision, the plus 1100 via knockout, and the plus 2000 via submission, because Quillen has already been submitted by a lesser level of opposition, in my personal opinion, but that's to be determined. So it's not outside the realm of possibility, man. And if you're heavily invested in all of these favorites, and you're heavily invested in all of these favorites packed up in parlays, whether it's 2, 3, 4, whatever the case may be, then it should be nothing to go ahead and drop a little dub here and a dub there on some of these dog plays, just in case shit goes left. Because if shit doesn't go left, you good. That little dub, you know what I'm talking about? You getting it back anyway. But if shit does go left, then one of these dog plays is gonna cover your motherfucking ass, secure your back door, and make sure you're able to cash at the end of the night in some way, shape, form, or fashion. You understand what I'm saying to you? To each their own, man. Maybe you don't feel like I feel, but that's the degenerate engine in me. It has been fine-tuned. And on to the next one. I'm doing the same thing. You can give me a dub on the plus 500 for, I said plus 500. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Where you at, boy? Where's he at by points, man? That's him there. That's him here. I got to open him up more. Bang. Plus 1,300 for the submission. Plus 450 for the points. And, where Kobe at for the motherfucking knockout? Plus 1,300 for the knockout too. 1,300 for the knockout, 1,300 for the submission, and 450 for the points, man. Listen, Ilya's little brother's already been knocked out once, right? You know what I'm talking about? My bad, I got lost in that for a second. All these fucking numbers. Ilya's little brother already been knocked out once, right? You know what I'm talking about? And it's Ilya's little brother versus Volk's little homie. And who's to say Volk's little homie ain't gonna hand Ilya's little brother another loss inside the distance via KO, TKO, or club and sub type of situation via submission, or maybe it's on the points. So at plus 450, plus 1,300, and plus 1,300, you know, that's another $40 invested into that dog, man, because I have all my favorites packed up on the prelims for my prelim parlays. I have my main card parlays. I have my whole card parlays where I have my favorites packed up and my swap out options applied where I feel like it's absolutely necessary. All of that work is already done. So this shit right here, let's play, let's have fun. You know what I mean? Let's cover some bases, let's secure some doors, let's put in some what ifs just the fucking case, man. And I can't tell you how many times these what ifs have been came through and secured the back door for a motherfucker, man, and held me all the way down. Made it so I was able to cash a ticket in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it was something light, something major, or something very significant off of something light. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, man, they got Bruna and Kong locked up right now. They know what's going on. They know what's going on. They know what's happening. Bruna came out there with the Batman mask and the fighting nerd glasses over top of the Batman mask. Oh my God, Kaio, Bahayo, Alex, Piera, everybody in her corner just pulling for her and pushing for her. Man, I'm trying to tell you, they know what's going on. That's why this shit locked up. We can't talk about this right now. But we already was all over Bruno's money line, you know what I mean? And the submission and the KO, I didn't get a chance to check that out. I was going to check that out right now with y'all, but they locked it the fuck up on me. Dirty motherfuckers. Borchef versus Nolan. You know what I mean? I feel like this is absolutely necessary for me anyway, because I have taken, like, I have my favorites locked up. I have my parlays on the prelims that have Borchef in there. I applied the swap out option with Nolan. My pick is Nolan. So my parlays that I like personally, I parlayed up, you know, early bird parlays and all that. They had Nolan in them. They had Jonathan in them. I did the favorites parlays that have Kevin in them. They have motherfucking Borchef in them and things like that, you know what I mean? And then I've applied my swap out option. I've done everything I can possibly do, you know, within my abilities, that my mind could wrap itself around, you know what I'm saying, trying to get a handle on. I've done it all, man, you know what I mean? So now, some prop parlays, you know, that prop, this is like a KO parlay for me. I'm gonna put this in, you know what I mean? Borchef. you know, to slip a shot, bop, and clip and disconnect Tom from his consciousness. Now, I picked Tom, but I got to properly prepare for being on the wrong side of that pick. And this is prop parlay, and this is going to be my knockout parlay. You know what I'm talking about? And I can see Borshchev clipping him and disconnecting him from his consciousness, man. You know what I'm talking about? And Borshchev is currently a slight favorite, so to catch him at a plus 160 to do what he has to do to get this one done, in my personal opinion, because he's not winning the decision. You know what I mean? Give me that plus 160. Now, Bellato. I like Bellato to knock old boy out, but Bellato's a low favorite, but we can catch him at a plus 160 as well. Them two plus 160s come together at plus 576, but I'm going to be greedy with this one. I need 3 legs. And give me Tafa. Give me Tafa to slip, clip, and disconnect. That's down to plus 1. No, that's Taliesin. Okay, Tafa's still plus 190. Give me that plus 190. You're out your rabbit ass mind. Plus 1860 for 3 individuals to do what they do and to follow their route to victory. Borshchev via KO, TKO at plus 160. Bellato via KO, TKO at plus 160. And Tafa via KO, TKO at plus 190. It was once plus 170, then plus 180. It is now plus 190. So for whatever reasons, after the face-offs, after the ceremonial weigh-ins, individuals have moved more so versus Taliesin. Me, I've started to get nervous about Taliesin after the weigh-ins, after the face-offs, man. You know, the way Tafa kind of looked Taliesin up like that, it was kind of, it gave me that vibe of when, old boy looked up Peyton like that, motherfucker Hayoni. You know what I mean? The way Hayoni came out there like, youngin'. Way Hayoni did that OG and looked Peyton Talbot up and down, and then what happened to Peyton Talbot, huh? That minus 1,000 went out the fucking window, and Hayoni Barcelos OG'd him. Just the way the energy, the feeling, the vibe I got from the way Tafa just looked at him like, scrap, all that shit don't mean nothing. Let's rock. You know what I mean? I'll take that plus 190 to secure my backdoor, because Taliesin was the pick, and I had him wrapped up in some parlays. You know what I'm talking about? For the main card and for the whole card. And in some all favors. Swap out options were applied, but, I like this little 3-pack, man. Plus 160, plus 160, and a plus 190. That's a plus 160 on a slight favorite, a plus 160 on a nice size favorite, and a plus 190 on a slight dog. All 3 of them to get it done. And it comes together at plus 1860. You know what I'm talking about? I could put $10 a man on that motherfucker, $30 for $558.12. Backlock it in. Consider it done. You know what I'm talking about? Borshchev by KO, Bellato by KO, and Tafa by KO. 160, 160, and 190 for 1860. 30, $10 a man, 3 legs, $30 on a 3-legger at plus 1860 for 558.12, man. That's it. It's done. Bang. Fuck out of here. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. I gotta do this. As much as I don't want to do this, I have to do it. I caught her at plus 1,500, and she's at a plus 1,900 now. I have to do it, man. It's absolutely necessary, because what if? What if? You know what I mean? That's all I need to hear is what if, and I'll just put 10 hours on that what if, you know what I mean? For a $190 back. And that's Wei Lee via submission. I caught her at plus 1,500 on Bet Rivers, but over here where I'm at right now, it's plus 1,900. So it is what it is. I put 10 hours on that just because, you know what I mean? It can happen like that, man. And then another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here, right? Where we at, man? Give me this right here. Give me this one right here. Come on, I need these motherfucking props for Tatiana to win in certain rounds. Type shit. Round 1 is 1,700. Ew, some of these numbers is crazy. They giving it to me to win in the minute, end of the round. That's reckless. I don't want that. I don't want that. That's too much. That's too much stress. You know what that's telling me? Leave the motherfucking ladies alone, man. Leave them young ladies alone. Leave the main event and the co-main event the fuck alone and out of the props, man. So we got Tafa, Bellato, and Borshchev by KO. A little 30 for a little 5, just about 5.5 back. You know what I'm talking about? Up here fucking with Anshu, it's via decision, via knockout, and via submission. It's the same thing for Rong Zhu, and it's the same thing for Kobe, man. Little sprinkles. I'm alright with them sprinkles because I'm already, you know, heavily invested into some of these other motherfucking parlays that, you know, had these favorites wrapped up in them, and just had the favorites that I am comfortable with wrapped up in them, significantly so. So, long as they smack, I'm good with all these little sprinkles. Because if they don't smack, that means one of these sprinkles smacked, in my personal opinion. And they still have Bruno and Kong locked the fuck up on us, y'all. That's some bullshit, man. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't even gonna hold you, though. This one right here, let me see what they got the boy at. That might be worth a motherfucking sprinkle, man. Nah, that's 650. What's that? Points 380. I sprinkle that boy. I'll give him a little bit of respect at home, even though I just don't feel like Jack Jenkins looked like the usual Jack Jenkins at weigh-ins, the usual Jack Jenkins at ceremonial weigh-ins, or any face-off when he squares off with his opponent. The energy wasn't there. He kind of seemed not depleted or timid, just like he didn't want to be there. You know what I'm talking about? Like, the fuck, I just don't even want to be here. I'm here because I need to be here. I'm talking about, I need this motherfucking check, and they asked me to show up. It's in my backyard. It's mandatory. Like, he just didn't seem like he wanted to be there, but he's a plus 380, man. I don't know that he's going to get the KO, no leg kick KO or any type of KO or submission over Gabe. You know what I'm talking about? Gabe will get to really slowing his fight the fuck down if he don't like how that shit's going on the feet. But I'll sprinkle that plus 380. Something light on it, man. Maybe I'll put $38 on his 380 and see how that shake back, man. But, you know, degenerate shit, I like Anshu, man. So, Anshu, 8 plus 800, plus 1100, and plus 2000, plus 800 for the decision, 1100 for the KO, and 2000 for the submission. And if we being honest, I got a sprinkle on all of them. But if we being honest, I love the submission plus 2000 more than any of them, because Quillen's going to implement, or at least attempt to implement, a heavy wrestling and grappling game. And, you know, he's been submitted already, man. So, me and the degenerate in me really likes that, as well as Rong Zhu. I really like Rong Zhu, just plus 900, man. You know what I mean? Give me a dub on Rong Zhu at plus 900 for a $180 back. You feel what I'm saying to you? And we'll leave it at that. I don't think, if he gets the KO, salute to him. If he gets the submission or the finish in any way, shape, form, or fashion, salute to him. But I think if he gets the dub over Cody, it's going to be via majority or split decision. You know what I'm talking about? So plus 900, I'll sprinkle that shit. And then Kobe, man. You got to give me Kobe the same fucking way. Give me Kobe via submission, via KO, both at plus 1300, and via decision at plus 450. And I'm sprinkling a dime on the 13 for the KO, a dime on the 13 for the submission, and a dub on the 450 for the decision. You know what I'm talking about? So the same way I'm doing with Anshu, the dime, and the dub, that's 40 there. Then it's just a dub on the Rong Zhu fight, so that's 20 there. And the dime, and the dub, that's 40 there. It's $100 invested right there. I'm all right with that, man. I'm all right with that. Because then up here we also have the $160 plus $160 for Borshchev, the plus $160 for Bellato, and the plus $190 for Taliesin. I mean, not Taliesin, Tafa. And the $30 on that for $555 back. You feel, well, $558 back. But you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I'm solid on that, man, because I already have all the other shit in. You know what I mean? And this shit, for me, this kind of shit is absolutely necessary. When you pack up your prelim parlays, and you pack up your main card parlays, and you pack up your whole card parlays, and you know, as far as the individuals that you like, you know what I mean? And then you go ahead and you pack up your little all favorites, because you know nights can be like that sometimes, and you apply the swapped out options where you feel like it's absolutely necessary to do so, you know what I mean? And once you've done all of that work, you know what I mean, and you got all that good work out the way, and them tickets are sitting in the motherfucking degenerate vault, you know, you do shit like this, and you know what I mean, take and put some light little sprinkles on these dogs in the method section, you know what I'm talking about, at good plus money numbers, and in that way, if your shit don't shake out, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, if your shit don't shake out, hopefully, not guaranteeing it, but hopefully it's because one of these motherfucking degenerate plays in the prop section that we put together shook out for you. You know what I'm talking about? So it is what it is. To each their own. Maybe all of this shit was for absolutely nothing and nobody other than myself, but that's all right, man, because I need to do it. You understand what I'm saying to you? And whether or not you chose to stay tapped in through this whole motherfucking shit and go through this little walk with me, to each their own. You know what I mean? But best of luck with any and all bets and parlays, man. Let's try to get to this bag in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Enjoy the fights. Peace and blessings.